What made you think, wow, I'm actually a genius? It all started in the 7th grade. We were supposed to design an ABCs book of things, such as ABCs of music instruments or the ABCs of animals, etc. You got points for getting something for all 26 letters if you could. I did mine in 5 minutes without research. The ABCs of imaginary things. Boom. Done. I'm a genius. I proved my insane brain skills over a decade later when someone was working on adding some green beans to a potluck dish for our workplace potluck. After opening the lid, it fell inside the can and they could not reach it, and had no tools to pull it out. So of course, I instantly solved the problem by picking up the can and turning it upside down. Everyone was impressed that I had discovered gravity. Either that or all the people that were brainstorming ideas to fix the problem were embarrassed by how simple the solution was. Either way, these situations both made me feel like my brain actually works. There you go, the only 2 times in over 4 decades of life that I felt smarter than the average bear. Now to wait and see how many of these posts go straight to r/I am very smart. I needed to weigh out 400 g of flour when baking, but realized we'd thrown out our set of scales a week before. So I got a rolling pin, a chopping board, a spirit level and 2 plates, same size from the same set, to basically build my own set of scales in my kitchen. I then placed a 400 g tin of tomatoes on one plate and just poured flour onto the other one until it balanced. Sent pictures to my so and mother to show I can function as a human. Boom. I briefly thought I had cured cancer because I was reading a fiction novel set in the aftermath of atomic bomb where I read that radioactivity can destabilize DNA and kill cells. I thought, damn, I bet we could use that radioactivity to kill cancer cells. I asked my smartest friend about it, and she kindly let me know that radiotherapy was already a thing. In my defense, I was around 12 years old. Making Pathfinder character builds for the stupidest reasons. Hey, how big can I make my animal companion? Druid 9/Mammoth Rider Prestige Class 1. Huge animal companion that can become gargantuan temporarily with an application of animal growth. Have a carrying capacity/combat maneuver bonus 1 size higher because of the hefty brute feet, and can double their attack damage with 1 application of strong jaw. Normally makes attacker plus 2 sizes higher, but just doubles it if the creature is gargantuan/colossal. When I was like 7, my parents lost a knife or fork down the sink. They kept trying to fish it out, and I suggested a magnet. Before I could finish, they taped a magnet to the end of a screwdriver to get the utensil out, except the magnet didn't fit down the opening. I kept trying to tell them what my actual plan was, but they blew me off, saying it wouldn't work. Finally, I blurted out, tape the magnet to the base of the screwdriver, so it magnetizes the metal. It'll fit like that. They froze in their tracks, looked back at me with wide eyes, looked at each other, and then said something to the effect of holy shit. Plan worked perfectly. They thought I was some kind of wonderkind from that point on. And I was. I had a girlfriend who started getting real lazy with oral hygiene or something, so her breath started to get unbearable. The problem was that she couldn't take confrontation at all. Also didn't want to make her feel less attractive. What solved it was whenever her breath was alright, I complimented it. I guess the trick was to make her more conscious of it in a positive light. Yeah, it's manipulative, but I'm a fucking genius, bro. When I discovered that most staplers have 2 settings. Normal staple is for small stacks of paper. Flip the metal square on the bottom to have bent out staples for big stacks of paper. I stumbled upon porn at quite a young age, before I had even started masturbating, and one day I saw the girl jerking the guy off, and I thought to myself, hey, I can do that. So I went to the bathroom and jerked off for the first time and thought I was legit a genius. Then I was surprised to know other people knew how to do it later on. When I was in college, there was this guy who was full of shit. He was from my area and roommates with my then best friend, so I figured I'd start talking to him. He seemed okay at first, but when I mentioned local things around the area I'm from, he told me I was wrong. Dude, I know my fucking city. His stories also seemed incredibly implausible, though everyone seemed to believe him. But if you tell me I don't know my own city, then I'm gonna start to get suspicious. I start investigating him online. Turns out he was from the total opposite side of the state. He told us he grew up in the hood getting jumped all the time, when he grew up in the sticks. Once I realized he was capable of lying about this, I realized he probably lied about everything else he said, so I just assumed it was a lie as soon as he said it. It's been at least 5 years now, so I don't remember what half of them were, but I caught him in a lot of lies. And once I realized he was not above snitching on his friends, and a friend of mine got in trouble, I knew exactly what happened. I'm known among my friends as the kinda derpy one, so it felt really awesome when they started to realize that yes, Reaper knew this all along. We did not, and maybe he's actually kinda smart. I then told my friends that we would keep the secret, that we would pretend we still believed him, and would not possibly think he was a snitch. In the meantime, I just asked him questions to see how he'd answer. My buddy, his roommate, loved this and upped the game one further. One day he looked at his Facebook friends list and said, "Wow, you have a lot of friends from real town." Just to see his reaction. 2 weeks before the end of the year, after a particularly bad incident, my buddy let it out that we knew. And with his cover blown, he dropped out. There were 2 weeks left. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to my line of work, and I'm usually very hard on myself and get stressed out when I feel that I could do something so much better, or that I'm taking too long to get something done. Many peers have told me that it's all on my head, that my work is good, and that I work quickly, but I did not believe it until I recently started a new job. The company has an office in the States, and a project in my line of work was given to a contractor in a big city over there. Lots of money invested, and, man, the work they have done is the bare minimum. I realized that if these people could make the big bucks and get away with such mediocrity, that I'm honestly very advanced in my field. A genius. Now I just have to figure out how to make that kind. When I was 11, my classroom had a Macintosh computer hooked up to a transparent LCD screen that you would set on top of an overhead projector so students could see whatever was on the computer screen. At the end of the year we had time to kill, so I brought in my Nintendo 64, and we were playing games on a TV in the corner of the classroom. I realized the Mac had a composite video input for video capture, so I found the application that let you view the input in real time, full screened it, and turned on the projector. Was the class hero that day. Back when I was in school, our English teacher asked us to be prepared for a 10 to 15 minutes public talk in front of the whole class regarding any interesting topic. She gave us 2 weeks to prepare. After 2 weeks, every class she will choose one person to deliver the talk. Being the most optimistic student, I thought no way I will be chosen anytime soon. And guess what? My name came up during the 3rd lesson that month. Being not prepared at all, I kept my cool and walked to the front of the class. On my journey there I saw my class organization chart. Clever me walk straight to the chart and start talking about my classmates whose names were there, judging all their qualities and what I think of them. Teacher said it was one of the best talks she ever heard. Almost 15 years later I still have this proud face whenever I think about it. Solved the dankest problem on my exam and failed the rest of it. Like, I very well may have been the only one to receive credit for it, because the maximum score was 200 and this question was 30 points. The high score of the class was 170. I didn't get much more than the 30, but my god, lem tell you, it's a paradox how I could attain this level of mastery and cannot solve the simple one-step problems, but solved this 40-step monstrosity. My friend put 6x6x6x6 etc. into a calculator, and then I had to guess how many times he done it. I guessed like 21, so he put the answer to the 21st root in the calculator, and it came to 6. I got it right 4 times in a row and I've never reached that peak ever since. I was taking the final in a stats class. I came to a problem that just seemed insanely hard, and it took me a really long time to figure out how to solve it. Turns out I had missed a key day during which the class had learned some crucial theorem. I realized that I had literally discovered this famous theorem myself during the final to solve the problem. I'm generally pretty average, but that one time I was like, damn, am I a genius? When I went in for a review with my boss, and they asked what I think about working with 2 specific coworkers of mine, and they looked extremely shocked when I said it's been great. That's when I realized I have a gift with people. Apparently I can work well with anyone, even people that have caused issues with others. Neat. I'm mediocre at pretty much everything, and awful at plenty of things, so I'm holding on to this one. I'm the human whisperer.